Join me as I dive into this terrifying story that's kept me up at night and see if I can handle it without losing my cool. I've been thinking, have you ever heard a story that just stuck with you long after it was over? Maybe it was a scary movie, a creepy urban legend, or a spine-tingling tale from a friend. Whatever it was, it just seemed to burrow its way into your brain, making it impossible to shake off. For a lot of people, this is a common occurrence. We hear these terrifying stories, and suddenly, we're wide awake, our minds racing with worst-case scenarios. The psychological impact of horror stories on sleep is pretty fascinating. When we hear something scary, our bodies go into fight-or-flight mode. This releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol, which can make it tough to wind down and relax. It's like our brains are hardwired to stay alert, just in case the threat is still lurking around the corner. This heightened state of alertness can lead to insomnia and restless nights, making it difficult to get a good night's sleep. But that's not all. Our brains are also wired to remember threats. This is why scary stories can have such a lasting impact on our minds. We tend to replay them over and over, analyzing the events and trying to make sense of them. This can create a sense of anxiety and unease, making it even harder to fall asleep. And it's not just the story itself, it's the emotions that come with it. Fear, anxiety, and unease can linger long after the story is over, making it tough to relax and unwind. In some cases, this can even lead to something called conditioned fear response. Basically, our brains learn to associate certain stimuli with fear, and this can trigger a stress response even when we're not consciously thinking about it. For example, if you hear a creepy sound effect, you might immediately feel a surge of fear, even if you're in a safe environment. This can make it tough to sleep, especially if you're someone who's prone to anxiety. There was this one story that I heard a while back, and it stuck with me ever since. Apparently, it was a dark and stormy night, and a group of friends were hanging out in an old cabin. They were swapping scary stories, trying to freak each other out, when suddenly, they heard a strange noise coming from outside. At first, they thought it was just the wind, but then they heard it again. A loud, piercing scream that seemed to come out of nowhere. The group was freaked out, to say the least. They tried to brush it off as a wild animal, but the sound seemed so human. It sent chills down their spines, and they couldn't shake off the feeling that something was watching them. As they sat there, frozen in fear, the screams kept coming, louder and more intense each time. It was like whatever was making the noise was toying with them, playing on their deepest fears. As the night wore on, the group started to get more and more anxious. They tried to leave, but the storm was too intense. The roads were flooded, and they were stuck. It was then that they realized they weren't alone in the cabin. There was something else there, with them, watching and waiting. The group was paralyzed with fear, unable to move or speak. The most shocking moment came when one of them decided to investigate. They grabbed a flashlight and stepped outside into the storm, determined to find the source of the screams. What they found was something that would haunt them for the rest of their lives. As they shone their light into the darkness, they saw a figure standing in the distance, watching them. So, what can we take away from all this? For one, it's clear that scary stories can have a lasting impact on our minds and bodies. They can affect our sleep, our anxiety levels, and even our perception of the world around us. But they're also a reminder of the power of storytelling. A good story can transport us to another world, evoking emotions and sensations that can be both thrilling and terrifying. If you've got a terrifying story that's kept you up at night, I want to hear it. Share it with me in the comments below. And if you're looking for more spine-tingling tales, be sure to check out my next video, where I explore the darker side of human nature. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.